Hello, everyone. Warm welcome to your episode 42 of the decoding of the Economic Times newspaper. I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth, and we are committed to helping women take charge of their finances. So, we run online financial training and coaching programs so that women can learn how they can manage their money and grow it effectively. We've now been operational for the last 9 years, and we have helped over 4,000 women till now, and they have created various financial results in their lives. One of the important aspects around being an intelligent investor, a knowledgeable investor, is understanding and knowing what's happening in the world around us, especially the business world and the financial world. And that's why we are creating these lives so that each woman, instead of avoiding the business newspaper, she begins to take charge, she begins to open that newspaper and begin understanding it. And if you don't understand, then this is your place to begin with. So, hi everyone, welcome. Could you start acknowledging that you are here? Give a thumbs up, say hi, good morning, send in some love. Great. Hi Vinita, Ridhima, good to have you guys who all are here. Please acknowledge your presence. Hey Sojanya, good morning. Beena, hi, good morning. Okay, anyone else who's joined in? Hey Neha, good morning. I love that sun right there. Okay, let's begin. The first thing is that on the Sony Live Originals Scam 1992, which is the Harshad Mehta story, has gone live, and it is saying that all episodes of that are streaming now. So we all know that 1992, this was one of the biggest scams in the Indian stock market, the Harshad Mehta story. So yeah, I'm kind of considering going over this one. Okay, let's begin with some stock market cheer, because a lot seems to be going well in the stock market these days. So let's kind of go over it and see what's happening. So I am decoding the first article, and that is on page number 5. Okay, so it's on page number 5, and that's the first article that we begin today, and it is on the stock market. Let me first acknowledge, hey Preeti, Kavleen, Archana, Prerna, good morning everyone. Thanks for acknowledging that you are here. Let's begin. So Nifty, which is the National Stock Exchange Index, it has risen by 96 points, and the article says that it's eyeing 12,050 level amid caution. So that's what's happening with Nifty. The Nifty could rally further toward 12,050 to 12,100 levels, having broken above the August 31st high to close at 11,834. So guys, on the October 8th, this has touched, okay, October 8th, it has broken above the August 31st high, and it's closed at 11,834, and it's expected to further rally up. So analysts are saying that they're expecting a further rally in the stock market upwards of 12,000 levels. So while analysts aren't ruling out a dip, with Thursday's daily chart indicating indecisiveness, sustained buying by FIIs could lend support and take the market higher. So as you all know by now, because most of you are a part of our inner circle, and we've seen in our stock investors program and in the stock investors community that foreign institutional investors are who drive the market up and down, and they are, kind of right now being the buyers, and they are giving a good support to the market, and the market is touching the next high. So that's what's happening. So it's saying after selling shares worth 7,783 crore rupees last month, FIIs have net purchased equities worth 4,000 crores so far. So far this month, 4,000 crore worth of equities purchased, and last month they sold about 7,700 crore rupees worth of shares. And this is the NSDL data which is showing us this. So for 2020, they have net bought 32,000 crores. So FIIs have majorly been the net buyers in the entire 2020 as of now. Also on October 8th, which is yesterday, they remained cumulative buyers of index futures. Futures is how the market is going to be in the future, so speculating about the future. And they've been the buyers in the future, which means they are expecting the market to go up. Nifty and Bank Nifty of 55,000 contracts, up from 39,000 contracts. So that's what it is saying. Let's see. So the Nifty opened and closed at practically the same level, indicating decisiveness. This is an analyst who is saying this in the newspaper. So there's mixed response. However, mostly we are talking about FIIs buying and the market going to its next level. So that's what this article is saying as of now. Guys, is it time to cheer or is it time to get scared? What do you think? So please share. Cheer or scared? Where are you? What's happening? Hey Chitra, Karishma, welcome guys. Pragati. So do share, okay? That are you scared or are you cheering? Where are you? Because just a few months ago, here we were sitting saying that, okay, the entire picture was gloomy. I remember that day. And even on that day, I said, this shall pass and this boom shall also pass. So creating the balance is the key. Got it, Preeti? So Preeti is cheerful and cautious at the same time. FII stands for Foreign Institutional Investors, Vinita. That's what FIIs are. Okay, guys. Great. So meanwhile, I'm waiting for others to share whether you're cheering or you're like kind of cautious or scared. Do keep sharing. And I am now going to the next one. Great. Chitra is sharing that she's balanced. Okay, so cement demand has gone up. This is the next move that I want to bring because today there's a lot of positive news in the economic times. So cement volumes could climb up by about a third in the 3 months to September in India, indicating revival of demand in the world's second biggest building materials industry. And that should benefit from lower input and logistics expenses. So that's what's happening, guys. So demand is up for cement and prices moderated in the second quarter. Additionally soft because of the monsoon rains across India. So that's another thing that's doing well. Let me share another good news, and which is around the LIC housing. And LIC housing is saying that it gave the maximum monthly loans, okay, monthly dispersals touched record high in September. So mortgage lender LIC Housing Finance posted its best ever monthly dispersals in September this year, and it is targeting a double-digit loan growth for the full fiscal year, which is great because it seems then people are buying new homes and they are taking so many loans. Like if September has hit a record high, and Shraddh were also in September, and most North Indians do not buy houses or properties in Shraddh, so this seems to be a good move. So mortgage lender LIC Housing Finance posted its best ever monthly dispersals in September, and September, it is saying September was excellent, not only for LIC housing but also for other housing companies, because the sentiment is back. So that's what it is saying, that the sentiment is back. And then this is MD LIC Housing Siddharth Mohanty, who's telling ET that September was also the best as compared to any other September for the company as a whole. Wow. Okay. This momentum will continue in coming days because of the festive season. And October, November, we will observe further growth in the individual retail segment. So that's what it is talking about. Okay. Brilliant. Wow. I think that's a real good move, is how I see it. Okay, let's see what our people are saying. I mean, I wanna, before we do that, so cement, there's another good news in the papers today where the auto sector is also seeing a high. So let me kind of share that, because there is cement, there is housing, the loan disbursals, and third is auto. All three are like going up, and the demand is reviving, is what I am getting present to. So let me share this news now before I look at the comments. So the year-on-year decline in automobile retail sales narrowed to a tenth in September after a sustained sales recovery in passenger vehicles. So recovery is there in passenger vehicles and a surge in tractors on the back of rural demand. So rural demand is back, and tractors are, the sale of tractors have increased, passenger vehicles have increased, new vehicle registrations were about 1.34 million units, so about 13 lakh new units kind of registered, and this is an year-on-year 10.2% decline. However, still much better compared to other months. So this is what's happening in the market, the cement sector, housing finance, and in the auto. And from housing finance, I am understanding about the housing sector also as a whole. So great, let's look at whether our people are cheering or they are getting scared. Okay, Neha is saying time to cheer. Hey Nilima, hi. Pragati, they are both the same. Financial year and fiscal year are both the same things. Hey Hiral, welcome. Okay, Sajana is sharing that she's cheering because markets are recovering. Ridhima is also cheering. She's saying markets going up means profits and markets going down means time to buy. So she's going to embrace both. And Pragati is cheering too. Great. So we have a lot of cheer. And to bring in the balance, let me bring in one bad news too, and which is from the World Bank. So the World Bank is saying that situation may worsen in South Asia, and India is a part of South Asia, okay? So World Bank said that the situation in India is worse than ever, and it is forecasting the country's economy, that the country's economy will shrink 9.6% in financial year 2020-21, and which is much steeper than the 3.2% fall that the lender had estimated in June. So World Bank in June had said that our economy will go down by 3.2%, and now it's saying it will shrink by 9.6%. So this is definitely bad news combined with some good news that we shared earlier. And here is what the World Bank chief economist is saying. His name is Hans Timmer. India's economy was already slowing before the pandemic. The situation in India is much worse than we have ever seen before. He added that there has been a 33% rise in poverty. So India's growth is projected to rebound to 5.4% in financial year 2022, which is next year, guys. and riding on the base effect of negative growth. Of course, if there's negative growth in 21, 22 will look better. Asia is set to plunge in its worst ever recession. Now, World Bank is saying recession is coming while the stock market is behaving somewhere else only. And with a sharper than expected contraction of 7.7%, and the World Bank said that in its half-yearly South Asia focus update, and this update was released yesterday, so these are all the updates. So news is not good, outlook is dire for South Asia is what Timur is saying. Guys, what do you think? What's happening? Because I think I've shared both good news and bad news for today. So let me hear from you guys how you guys are going to decode this information. Because auto is up, cement is up, housing finance is going up, and I think housing, people are also buying houses, and all of these passenger vehicles we looked at, tractors, and now we're looking at World Bank saying that the Indian economy is contracting. So what do you guys think? Please start sharing. How are you going to use this information? Okay, so Janya is saying that the recovering housing sector is also benefiting related industries like cement, housing finance, and paints. Got that, Sojanya? So that's Sojanya's view. What about others, guys? What do you think? How would you decode this information? You could write in 1 word, 2 words, and if you can't manage to decode, that's fine. Just say, okay, don't know. Just write something so that I know where you are with this information. Got that, Sojanya? Yeah. Saw this. What about others? I want to hear from others. So Neha, Nilima, Pragati, Hiral, Vinita, Chitra, Preeti, Karishma, Kavleen. Start typing, everyone. Archana. Sure, Preeti. Absolutely. Kavleen is saying Mr. Market is behaving very irrationally if we see the World Bank news. So she's saying that she's a little cautious is where she is. Prerna is sharing that let's be balanced. Let's take it as it comes. Great. And this brings me back again to what my mentor says always, that nobody knows the future. So just dance in this uncertainty of the market. Archana is sharing, have to be cautious for sure. Namita is kind of diving in. She doesn't know. Pragati is sharing that only I am in control and hoping that everything else falls in place in South Asia and the world. Yes, what we can really control is our own selves, Pragati. Love that. Economy of small business people has been hit badly. Poor have definitely become poorer, and it is a long time for them to it will take a long time for them to find their feet. Got that, Vinita? And know that these are just our opinions, right? From whatever little we can see, whatever we can make out. So these are all our opinions, may have very little to do with reality. So whatever information we are receiving, we are kind of trying to make sense and trying to kind of use this to our advantage in our investment lives. Okay guys, great. So thank you for sharing. Today's decoding was small. This is it for now. And we will meet now for the decoding of the ET Wealth newspaper on Tuesday. And okay, I have a comment from Ridhima, so let me just kind of look at this one. Not all sectors are growing as others. Purchasing power is low. People are buying only essentials for now. Auto is also kind of an essential right now due to the pandemic. Okay, got that, Ridhima? Got your point of view? So Jana is sharing that the World Bank is signaling that our stock market isn't in sync with reality. Well, yes. Got that, Sojanya. Vinita, thanks. Okay guys, so I'm closing the decoding of the business newspaper here. we meet for the next decoding, and that is of the ET Wealth newspaper on Tuesday. And meanwhile, on Sunday, there is the International Day of the Girl Child. So I'm going live with Anamika Joshi, and she is one of our money gymmers and also a celebrated woman. She's known for her poems, which are quite quite like they help you break out of the conditioning that the world and the society puts in. So I will announce that live shortly with her, and we also plan to do our own live on the Women on Wealth page on Sunday. So thank you everyone. Keep coming and keep enriching your money lives with all that we have to give. Please share, please support Women on Wealth so that we can make together 50 lakh women financially educated. Loads of love. Take charge. Bye-bye.